However, everything that glitters ain't gold. Remember last season we saw lineups with Ari McDonald at the 1, Kelsey Mitchell at the 2, Caitlin Clark at the 3. Yeah, Caitlin Clark was playing the 3. Caitlin Clark off ball, screening, relegated to a screener. Yeah, that's how the game started out.
Finally, after months of demands from fans, Caitlin Clark gets thrust into Team USA's starting lineup. But here's the catch. It wasn't exactly what anyone hoped for. Chelsea Gray at the 1, Kelsey Plum at the 2, and Clark relegated to the 3 spot. Off-ball screening. Watch parties. The exact lineup construction that had fans furious all season long. So the question becomes, did we actually get what we asked for, or just another version of the same problem?
But if you held on long enough, if you held on long enough and waited till the 4th quarter, we finally got what we've been asking for, Caitlin Clark at the 1, Paige at the 2, Ray Burrell at the 3, Monique Billings, Kiki Iriafin rounding out that lineup, and the offense ran through Caitlin Clark. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was the CC show, and she put on a show. Let's get right into it. Please like the video, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel.
But if you stuck around through the frustration, something shifted in that 4th quarter. Clark at the point, Paige Beckers at the 2, Ray Burrell at the 3, with Monique Billings and Kiki Iriafin rounding out the lineup. Suddenly, the offense ran through number 22. No committees, no rotation of ball handlers, no politics, just pure Caitlin Clark orchestrating everything. And the results? 14 points, 6 assists, 2 steals. Through 4 games, she leads all players with 51 points and 25 assists. Not just leading, Minaturos dominating the efficiency metrics too.
Lineup: Monique Billings, Caitlin Clark, Chelsea Gray, Dearica Hamby, Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray with Caitlin Clark? Nah. Nah, that ain't it, coach. That ain't it, coach. We got to switch this up. Something needs to change here.
Look at that starting lineup again. Nick Billings, Caitlin Clark, Chelsea Gray, Dearica Hamby, Kelsey Plum. 3 guards, 3 ball-dominant guards with completely different pace preferences. Gray operates in that methodical, grinded-out tempo. Plum thrives in transition chaos. And Clark? She's somewhere in between but needs the ball in her hands to be effective. You can't run an efficient offense with 3-point guards who all need touches to find rhythm. The spacing doesn't work, the pace becomes schizophrenic. Fans immediately called it out. Why are we forcing this lineup when the 4th quarter rotation proved what actually works?
CC hitting the bigs and another midi. Let's take a look right over here. Whoop. Caitlin Clark, nice pass to Monique Billings. Monique finishes at the hoop. And again, people continue to say Caitlin Clark has no mid-range game. All she does is shoot threes. What does she do besides shoot threes? She's got a mid-range game. It's not like she didn't shoot the mid-range in Iowa. Pull up in your face. CC. Defender in jail. Then sidestep midi. Okay, Caitlin. Yeah. Oh yeah, keep her on her hip. Sidestep. Pull up. Again.
Here's what critics have been saying all season. Caitlin Clark can't shoot anything except threes. She's got no mid-range game. She's one-dimensional from Iowa. Watch this sequence. Sidestep pull-up from 15 feet. Defender in jail. Step back midi. Another pull-up in transition after rejecting the screen. She went 6 for 11 from the field today, 2 for 7 from 3. Those 4 makes inside the arc. All mid-range pull-ups with defenders draped on her. The narrative that she's just a 3-point specialist doesn't match what's happening on the court. She's added legitimate mid-range scoring to her arsenal, and defenses haven't adjusted yet. They're still playing her for the deep ball, giving her that 12 to 15-foot window, and she's taking it every single time.
Deep. Crosses half court. Rejects the screen from Monique Billings. Step back, pull up. Bang. Now, Caitlin Clark today from 3, 2 for 7 from 3. Missed a couple open opportunities. This could have been a 20-point game. Very easily, Caitlin Clark could have dropped 20. 6 for 11, 2 for 7 from 3, 14 points, 6 assists. Easily could have dropped 20. If she hits those 2 threes, stand out in particular.
Two missed threes stand out from this game. First possession, wide open look from the corner, rimmed out. Then late in the fourth quarter, another clean catch-and-shoot opportunity that just didn't fall. If those two shots drop, we're talking about a 20-point performance instead of 14. The efficiency was there, the shot selection was smart, the execution just barely missed. Meanwhile, Ray Burrell came alive after a quiet game 1, dropping 18 points. Paige Beckers added 7 on 3 for 8 shooting. Chelsea Gray managed 5 points and 5 assists in 50 minutes of action. But here's what's interesting. Kalea Copper didn't play at all, not a single minute. No explanation given, no injury report mentioned. That absence changes rotations entirely.
Here we got Kelsey Plum skipping. This is what I wanted to show you though. Of course, Kelsey Plum is going to pass back to, I believe that's Chelsea Gray over there, but look at Caitlin Clark on the top of your screen. And then look who I believe is either Kiki Irifin or Monique Billings screening her defender backside. That would have given her a wide open opportunity. Of course, we don't find it. Of course, we don't pass it to her. But look at that. Would have been wide open. Would have been wide open for Caitlin Clark right over there. It's clear there's a very organic chemistry between Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers. Clark snakes the ball screen and holds brief attention to Beckers' matchup, prompting the cut, and appreciate the touch and accuracy from Clark on delivery in traffic.
Watch this possession closely. Kelsey Plum has the ball on the wing, and everyone's focused on her. But track Caitlin Clark at the top of the screen. Monique Billings sets a backside screen on Clark's defender, creating a massive window for a catch-and-shoot 3. Clark's waving for the ball completely open, and the pass never comes. Gray gets it instead, resets the offense, and they settle for a contested mid-range jumper. This happens constantly when Clark plays off-ball. She's moving without the basketball, reading defenses, finding gaps in the rotation. But if teammates don't recognize those windows or don't trust the pass, all that movement becomes wasted energy. The chemistry isn't there yet with certain lineup combinations, which is exactly why that fourth quarter unit worked so well. They actually looked for each other.
Yeah, this is a pretty good pass in traffic. Caitlin Clark controlling the offense. Look, the fourth quarter, 99-46. They're not done. We're running it up. We want that triple-digit number. We want a hundo. We want a hundo. Billings setting the screen. Caitlin Clark going through the middle. Hey, Paige, cut real quick. Nice backdoor cut. Perfectly placed ball. Paige ends up dropping it off to Monique Billings for the easy bucket. Paige and Caitlin on the floor together, it's disgusting. It really is disgusting. Here we have Caitlin Clark.
The chemistry between Clark and Beckers is completely organic. Watch this sequence. Clark snakes the ball screen, holds the attention of Beckers' defender for just a split second, and Paige reads it instantly. Backdoor cut, perfectly timed. Clark delivers the pass in traffic with touch and accuracy, threading it between two defenders. Paige catches it, draws another defender, and dumps it to Monique Billings for the easy finish at the rim. 3 passes, 4 players involved, executed in about 4 seconds. That's high-level basketball IQ on display. They're not running set plays here. They're reading and reacting to defensive breakdowns they're creating in real time. And it's not just this possession. Later in the quarter, Clark pushes tempo in transition, collapses the defense, and hits Beckers in the corner for a wide-open 3. Then Beckers returns the favor, finding Clark for a step-back midi in the half-court. The give and take is seamless.
We have Angel Reese setting the screen for Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark pushing the floor, hitting Paige Beckers in the corner once the defense collapses. You can't ask for much. You can't ask for much more from this group right here. Boop. Let me set the screen. Caitlin Clark pushing tempo. Got the defender on her hip. Beats her off the dribble. Paige's man drops down in the paint. Hit Paige wide open 3. Pull up. Splash. Again, when Caitlin's in the game, it's easier for everybody. Everybody gets open looks. It's not so.
Here's the dynamic that makes Clark so effective as a facilitator. Defenses are terrified of her shooting, so they overcommit on ball screens. Watch this possession. Angel Reese sets the screen, Clark attacks downhill, and immediately 2 defenders collapse into the paint. That's when she hits Beckers in the corner for 3. Splash. Or this one. Defender stays glued to Clark on the perimeter, drops down to help when she drives, and suddenly Paige is wide open for a pull-up jumper. When Caitlin's on the floor, everyone gets easier looks. Monique Billings gets dunks and layups. Ray Burrell gets open cuts. Ryan Howard gets catch-and-shoot threes. Kelsey Plum finds gaps in transition. The offense becomes exponentially more efficient because defenses have to account for Clark's gravity every single possession.
And finally, on the receiving end of it as well, Paige, not being extremely selfish, finding Caitlin Clark. In transition, Caitlin Clark steps up, step back, midi, splash. And then it wouldn't be a game if they both complained to the referees today. You saw a little Paige complaining right here, and then you see Caitlin Clark complaining as well. Yep.
And Clark benefits from the same dynamic. Paige Beckers pushes in transition, draws Clark's defender into rotation, and finds her for an open step-back midi. It's not selfish basketball, it's smart basketball. The best facilitator in the league finally getting teammates who understand how to play off her strengths and feed her back when defenses overcommit. But here's what makes this fourth quarter lineup so effective beyond just the talent. The pace is consistent. Nobody's calling for the ball and holding it for 8 seconds. They're moving, cutting, screening, and most importantly, they're looking for the next best option instead of forcing their own shot. That's championship-level offensive execution, and it only showed up when this specific 5-player combination hit the floor together.
Are you serious? Shout out to Heath Ledger, rest in peace. Well, why so serious? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I appreciate all the support. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. Finally got her in the starting lineup. Wasn't exactly what we were hoping for, but later in the game, between her, Paige, Ray Burrell, Kiki, and Monique Billings, that lineup was definitely the most entertaining part of the entire game.
So here's what this game revealed about Team USA's roster construction and coaching decisions. They finally put Caitlin Clark in the starting lineup after enormous pressure from fans and media. But they hedged. They surrounded her with 2 other ball-dominant guards who operate at different tempos and need touches to stay engaged. The starting unit looked disjointed, confused about roles, uncertain about pace. Then in the fourth quarter, they ran the lineup that everyone's been demanding since day one. Clark at the point, Beckers at the 2, length and athleticism at the 3 through 5. And suddenly the offense clicked. Ball movement, player movement, efficient shots, and a 100-point performance. The score was 99-46 when Clark checked back in during the fourth. They weren't trying to hold a lead, they were actively running up the score, hunting for triple digits. That fourth quarter unit outscored opponents by enormous margins. The pace increased, the shot quality improved, and most importantly, everyone knew their role. No confusion about who should have the ball, no awkward moments where 3 players are calling for the same pass. Just clean, efficient, beautiful basketball. Which raises the obvious question, if this lineup works so well, why isn't it the starting 5? Why are we still trotting out 3-guard lineups that create spacing problems and pace inconsistencies? The answer probably involves politics, veteran respect, and coaching stubbornness. But the results on the court don't lie. Caitlin Clark went 6 for 11 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3, finishing with 14 points and 6 assists. She easily could have hit 20 points if those 2 open threes had fallen. She's now leading all players through 4 games with 51 points and 25 assists. The most points, the most assists, and the best efficiency metrics of anyone on the roster. Ray Burrell woke up after a quiet opening game contributing 18 points. Paige Beckers added 7 points on 3 for 8 shooting, going 2 for 5 from beyond the arc. Chelsea Gray managed 5 points and 5 assists in 50 minutes of playing time. But the absence of Kalia Copper remains unexplained. No injury designation, no rest day announcement, just a complete absence from the rotation. That's unusual for a player of her caliber unless something's happening behind the scenes. The contrast between the starting lineup and the fourth quarter unit couldn't be more stark. One group looks like it was assembled by committee, trying to keep everyone happy and distribute minutes fairly. The other looks like it was built to win basketball games with complementary skills and natural chemistry. Fans noticed immediately, social media exploded with reactions. Finally, CC is starting, followed quickly by, wait, why are we running 3 guards? And then eventually, that fourth quarter lineup is what we've been asking for all along. Look at the body language throughout the game. In the first quarter, Clark's setting off ball screens, standing in the corner, watching Chelsea Gray run pick and rolls. She's engaged, she's working, but she's clearly not in her natural role.
Then the fourth quarter hits, and suddenly her entire demeanor changes. She's calling plays, directing traffic, pushing tempo, and most importantly, she's smiling. That's a player operating in her comfort zone, doing what she does best. The complaints to referees were vintage Clark too. She picks up a questionable foul, immediately turns to the official with that "are you serious" expression that's become her trademark. Paige Bueckers joined in later, arguing a no call on a drive to the basket. These are competitors who care deeply about every possession, every call, every detail. That intensity translates to winning basketball when it's channeled correctly. Team USA is now 4 games into this exhibition schedule, and the rotation patterns are starting to crystallize. The coaching staff clearly wants to give everyone minutes, test different lineup combinations, and evaluate chemistry. That's smart during exhibition play, but at some point you have to commit to what works. And what works is Caitlin Clark running the offense with Paige Bueckers beside her, surrounded by length, athleticism, and shooting. The path forward seems obvious. Start that fourth quarter lineup. Let Clark orchestrate from the opening tip. Give Bueckers the freedom to cut, shoot, and create. Surround them with players who complement their strengths rather than compete for the same touches. The results will speak for themselves. Because here's the reality. Caitlin Clark is the best facilitator in this league. She's the most dynamic playmaker, the most creative passer, and one of the most efficient scorers. Building an offense around her isn't controversial, it's common sense. And when you pair her with players who understand how to move without the ball, cut at the right moments, and shoot when they're open, the offense becomes unstoppable.
So the question for Team USA's coaching staff is simple. Are you going to keep experimenting with lineups that don't work? Or are you going to commit to the combination that clearly does? Because the fourth quarter of this game showed everyone exactly what this team can be when you let your best players operate in their natural roles. Now it's time to make that the standard rather than the exception.